This week on the JMC Network Newscast. First, a look at the more than 100 people from the city of Abilene who gathered on Monday to march across the Martin Luther King Memorial Bridge. Then, a look at the first ever nationally televised ACU basketball game with sportscaster Hannah Little. And finally, a tour at the new M.E.R.C.Y Medical Center that has reopened on the north side of Abilene. Welcome back to the JMC Network Newscast, everyone. I'm Laura Benson. Well, more than 100 people from the city of Abilene gathered on Monday to march across the Martin Luther King Memorial Bridge to remember and reflect. Take a look. The march began at the corner of Cockrell Street and MLK Boulevard, where the marchers' hymns and chants echoed for blocks. The symphony of voices rang out, reminding everyone of Martin Luther King's dream that is still being pursued today.
I think racism is an issue, and we need to be aware of it, and we need to try to do everything we can to eradicate it. And Martin Luther King stood for that, and so that's what I'm here for.
Although racial discrimination has come a long way in the past 148 years, sadly, racism still occurs today.
I can remember at a time I went to a church where the people didn't look like me, and they would not let me in, even a church.
I cannot hold them accountable for how they treat me. God will hold me accountable for how I treat them.
However, locals did not march for racial equality alone, but also for the ambition that one day all people will have equality, no matter your age, gender, or sexual preference.
Justice for all. I mean, you know, I'm a gay person, and being a gay person in Abilene, Texas, and in the U.S. is a very hard life to live, but I feel that if we speak out in the march and stand up for what Martin Luther King stood up for, we could hopefully get the freedoms that we deserve.
And now to Hannah Little and Savannah Silva with the highlights of this week's nationally televised basketball game.
That's right, Laura. The big guys were in town last weekend for a nationally televised game. ACU hosted a CBS Sports Network game in Moody Coliseum. Here's Sharon M.E.R.C.Y with a look behind the scenes of the eventful day.
The ACU men's basketball team was hard at work Friday afternoon as CBS Sports Network took over Moody Coliseum. The major network set up more than 6 cameras with countless cables inside Moody and also had a truck behind the Coliseum where the nationally broadcast game was being live streamed. Wildcat Rain also camped out Friday night to show support for the men's basketball team.
We're actually setting up a few more tents than it's going to be required for us personally, because we want people to come and be like, hey, I want to do that, and grab a tent. And so we really hope tomorrow's turnout's going to be huge.
The Wildcats were tied for the first in the Southland, but lost to Stephen F. Austin Saturday 82-64. Junior forward Austin Cook led the Wildcats with 10 points and 4 rebounds, but the Jacks outscored the Wildcats 49-27 in the second half. The men's basketball team began conference play over Christmas break as the Wildcats started out with 3 huge wins against Central Arkansas, Nicholls State, and Northwestern State. ACU men's basketball lost 56-63 on the road against McNeese State Tuesday night after hitting just 5 of 23 shots in the first half. The Wildcats returned to Moody in a doubleheader against the University of Incarnate Word Saturday at 4 p.m. and take on Sam Houston State at home Monday evening.
ACU's women's basketball had a slow start in conference play, dropping its first 3 games, but gained a 75-59 victory on the road against McNeese State last Wednesday. The Wildcats returned to Moody Coliseum to face off against the Stephen F. Austin Lumberjacks last Saturday. Lizzie Dimba had 17 points and 10 rebounds for the Cats, but the Jacks would come back from a 7-point second-half deficit to send the game into overtime. SFA had a 2-point lead with 18 seconds left, but ACU's buzzer-beater attempt would not drop, leaving the Cats with a 71-69 loss. This game leaves the women 1-4 in the conference. The Wildcats have a 3-game homestand, including Sam Houston State Thursday and University of Incarnate Word Saturday. ACU's women's tennis began its season at the Indiana Winter Invitational last weekend in Bloomington, Indiana. The Wildcats claimed 7 matches overall, including victories against the Indiana Hoosiers and the Oregon Ducks. Junior Casey Hermsdorf earned Southland Conference Player of the Week honors after going undefeated in the tournament. The men's tennis team begins its spring campaign this weekend in Dallas.
The track and field team celebrated a number of top 10 individual performances at the Texas A&M Team Invitational last Saturday. The Wildcats competed against some of the toughest programs ACU has ever faced, including host Texas A&M and Baylor University. Sophomore Diana Garcia recorded the highest finish in the 3,000-meter run. In the 400-meter dash, newcomer Rosen Daniel took third place, while Kenzie Walker placed third in the pole vault with a personal best of 12.9.5. The Wildcats will return to competition January 30th for the weekend of the Masked Rider Open. Back to you, Laura.
Thanks, Hannah. Well, Abilene has a new medical clinic called M.E.R.C.Y that has reopened on the north side of town in a much larger facility in order to better serve the locals. Take a look. Abilene Taylor County Healthcare Center opened a new clinic called M.E.R.C.Y Healthcare Center on 1902 Shelton Street. M.E.R.C.Y serves people who fall under the 200% poverty line. However, they offer $5 STD testing for anyone who would like it. The clinic was originally located on the south side of town. However, the old location was overcrowded, with 11 nurses and only 4 exam rooms. Nurses mentioned that the old location was so overcrowded that even walking past each other in the hallways was a task. The new location was placed on the north side of Abilene to better serve their patients and now includes 7 exam rooms. Hallways are broad and they even have room to add on more exam rooms when the funds are available. Well, for more stories and breaking news, go to acuoptimist.com and like our Facebook page, The Optimist, for the fastest way to keep up with all the latest breaking news at ACU. As always, thanks for watching the JMC Network Newscast. I'm Laura Benson. Have a great week, everyone.